Hello, my friends. Today we're going to talk about past tense words ending in ed that get a little bit confusing with the end sound. So I'm going to scroll down here. So sometimes we wonder, why does something end in ed but has a T sound? And why does something end in ed and has the id sound? Well, let's go ahead and talk about it. So let's first of all talk about a voiceless consonant. The last sound in the word is a voiceless consonant when we are dealing with certain consonants in a word. So a voiceless consonant does not vibrate. So put your fingers on your throat and let's say some of these letter sounds together. For example, F. Make the F sound with me. Make sure you've got your fingers on your throat. Do you feel anything vibrate? Let's try the letter H and the letter K and P, T, and then of course if you were to try S and CH and SH and TH, you will also notice that your throat does not vibrate. So with these consonant sounds in words, the ending will sound like t. So for example, put your fingers back on your throat and please say with me, kissed. Notice how the end sounds like that. Let's try hushed. Hushed. Again, the T sound at the end. Hush has the SH sound, and of course, kissed has the S sound, which makes the ending sound like there's a T. So let's go ahead and move on to when a word ends in D. So this would be considered a voiced consonant. And what does that mean? Well, let's put our fingers back on our throat and let's say some of these letters together. Ba, 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 ba. Da, 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 da. Ga, 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 ga. If you notice, when we say B, D, and G, we feel that vibration on our throat. So when we have any of these letters in our word, and if you look across all the way from B, D, G, all the way to NG at the end, you will feel that vibration at the end. So you will have the da sound at the end. So let's try a few words together. Put your fingers back on your throat and please say this with me. Called, banged, buzzed. Again, we feel that vibration on our throat because called has the L sound in it. Buzz has the Z sound in it. And of course, bang has the NG sound in it, what causes the end to have a voice consonant with that the D sound. And let's go to the last one. When we hear the ID sound at the end. Let's go ahead and try that. The last sound in the word is actually D or T. Ended, landed, needed, divided, folded, planted, rented, hunted, shouted, rested. Those end with the sound of ID. All right, let's go ahead and practice a sentence. I liked the movie a lot. We hear that sound at the end. It was getting late, so I started to jog home. Started. Id. We hear that at the end. Wagged. The dog wagged its tail for the bone. Rained. It rained a lot yesterday afternoon. Tasted. The pink lemonade tasted sour. Spilled. I spilled my milk. Walked. I walked to my friend's house after school. Kicked. The soccer player kicked the ball. Played. The cat played with the ball of yarn. Turned. The sky turned dark and cloudy. Invited. My grandma invited us to dinner. Stepped. Oh no, I stepped in gum, cried Ella. So here is the question for you. Do I just add an ed to the end of a verb to make it past tense? Well, let's look at some rules before we conclude today. When a verb ends with E, of course you will add the D. So let's look at some examples. Arrive equal arrived. We just added the D. Live equaled lived. Again, we just added the D. But when a verb ends with a vowel and a Y, we are going to add the ED. So for example, play, of course, it ends with a vowel and a Y, so we will add the E and the D. So play equals played with ED at the end. When a verb ends with a consonant and a Y, change Y to I and add ED. So let's look at try. TRY, it ends with the consonant Y. So of course, we are going to add ED. We're going to change the Y first of all into I and then add the ED. So try becomes tried, TRIED. Let's look at the next one. Harry. That will obviously, we will take the Y out and we will add the I, replace the Y with the I. And of course, add the ED. When a verb only has one vowel and is followed by a single consonant, double the consonant. So for example, stop. We are going to add another consonant. We're going to double that up, double that P. So stop will become stopped, S-T-O, the two consonants because we're doubling it up. And then, of course, ED at the end. Let's look at bat. We have one vowel and, of course, the consonant. We're going to double up on that consonant and bat becomes B-A-T-T-E-D. So this particular lesson, don't feel bad if it is confusing. This is something that confuses even native speakers. I would recommend stopping and pausing this lesson and going over it a few times while you memorize it. And of course, as always, if there's anything I could help out with or better explain, please reach out to me. All right, have a great rest of your day.